We are usually looking for well-being where it isn't, outside of ourselves. This habit falls away as it is recognized that well-being is simply the result of the beingness that is our basic nature. As this is recognized, it comes more into the foreground, and the contraction of me dissolves into the background. I'm Hale Dwoskin. Welcome to Letting Go and the Greatest Secret, where we explore the end of your suffering and the beginning of lasting happiness. I'm Hale Dwoskin. Normally, a featured guest joins me for a conversation to share insights into living a life of deep joy and unshakable peace. Every now and then, it's just you and me, and today is one of those episodes. One of the things that you can discover from your own direct experience is that what you are is always right here, right now. And what you are isn't your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your ideas about yourself. It isn't even your sense of being a person, a me. What you are is the beingness that gives life to that sense of me, that gives life to all experience. And this beingness is always right here, right now, beyond and at the heart of and the source of all that's experienced. And this beingness that we are is actually the source of well-being. It's even in the name. That feeling of being well that we often attribute to things that we do or don't do, have or don't have, things that we experience, has absolutely nothing to do with what we think it does. It is just beingness being itself. And the reason we get confused is that when we work out, for instance, the body-mind goes into a state of relaxation and openness. There are different chemicals that get released in our brain. And all that really does is it causes that sense of contraction called me to fade into the background a little bit or a lot. And what is left is beingness, the source of well-being. Or say you're hanging out with someone you really love. There's often a sense of well-being in that. That well-being has to do with not you being with them. It has to do with the love that you are. That is beingness. And so we think often we need to have someone to love in order to have a sense of well-being. Yet well-being doesn't come from that. That comes from well-being. And it's important to also note, I'm not saying don't hang out with people you love. Don't take care of your body. Don't succeed in life. Don't go into nature. That's another place where we often experience well-being. All I'm saying is that as you recognize the true source of well-being, which is the beingness that appears as nature and as you and the people that you love, and as you and your body, that beingness is always here, always now. And as that is recognized, not by you, but just by itself, that sense of well-being colonizes or opens or becomes more obvious to the body-mind. And this is not something that I'm recommending you do. Part of the problem is when we hear things like this, we think we need to go in search of beingness. But right now, are you in search of whatever your name is? Of course not. You know you are that. Well, the same thing is true of beingness. In fact, those of us who are spiritual seekers spend a lot of time looking for beingness in all sorts of practices, in all sorts of wonderful experiences. But again, that you can't find what you are there. What you are allows for all of that as well. So you already are beingness, which is the source of well-being in our experience. So let's explore that together. In this moment, could you just simply pause or stop and notice what is? And or simply be what you are. Now again, that sounds like you doing something, but it isn't. A stopping can happen at any moment. Self-recognition can happen at any moment. And being what you are is not a happening. It's just what is. And also notice how there is an awareness that arises in beingness. At first, awareness is aware of apparent things. It's aware of hearing, seeing, feeling, tasting, touching. And we assume from that I'm hearing, I'm tasting, I'm feeling, I'm touching. But the I am part is unnecessary. Hearing, feeling, tasting, touching are just beingness, expressing itself as itself. So in this moment, notice how beingness just is, and seeing just is, and hearing just is, and feeling just is, and tasting just is. And even smelling just is. All is just beingness appearing as all that appears. It appears, it isn't necessarily what's real. And then notice how that beingness is just simply what is, whether it's noticed or not. Sometimes the mind finds this a little frustrating. It thinks it needs to see or taste or touch beingness. But that beingness that we are is both nothing and everything. Yet at the same time, boundless, formless, dimensionless, spaceless. Already whole, already complete. And all objects, including the object called the body-mind, including the objects that make up the world, including the thought, me, appear in, on, and as that. And notice too that there is nowhere you need to go and nothing you need to do in order to be what you already are. Part of that is because there is no you separate from beingness to go anywhere. And then also allow yourself to notice that in the recognition of beingness, and again, that's not a doingness, it's just being. There is a sense of well-being that is uncaused, that is not confined to or centered in the body, yet it fills the body. As the source of life, of love, of all that is. And what you are is already that. Out of time, out of space, eternally now. So I'm not suggesting you try to do anything with this. As soon as we try to do something with or about this, the mind engages and we go back and forth between being and apparently being me. But I would recommend that you listen to this a few more times and see where it leads you. I hope you enjoyed our time together. We'll do special episodes like this every now and then. And of course, we'll be having plenty of featured guests to share their wisdom and insights with you. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe so you have immediate access to future episodes. Please give us a 5-star rating and share it with the people you care about. These episodes are dedicated to sharing the eternal teachings from the greatest secret and the power of letting go. If you'd like to learn more about my work, Lester Levinson's work, and the Sedona Method, please visit www.sedona.com. As you explore our site, you learn the key to lasting happiness, success, peace, and emotional well-being. We have books, courses, events, and plenty of free material to explore. Again, go to sedona.com. That's SEDONA.com. Thank you for being here, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Letting Go and the Greatest Secret.